Hello everyone, and welcome to the Mortuary. I am the Mortician, and today I have a review for Vital Remains' Icons of Evil. It's going to be another discography. I'm going to be listening to all of the Vital Remains albums and, well, their main discography, studio albums only, and then I'm going to review them. Should be fun. We had fun with Waking the Cadaver. I rustled some jimmies. And I'm no doubt going to rustle some jimmies with Vital Remains, especially this album. So you might be asking, why am I starting with Icons of Evil if it's a discography? The simple fact is, this was the first Vital Remains album I ever heard, and I wanted this to be the first because it's like visiting an old friend. You know what I mean? I figured I'd start with the album that kind of got me in. Actually, it kind of got me into death metal. It was one of the first death metal albums I heard in middle school, actually. But yeah, and I just wanted to see how it held up. So, got some notes here, as I always do. We're gonna start out with the positives, all right? Because there is a lot of negative shit I have to say. It's pretty much exclusively negative. So, we're going to do all the positive shit first, because I really... So to start, I think the saving grace of this album, and the only thing that made it listenable up to a point, were the guitar leads. The guitar leads, the solos, and the melodies are really, really, really good. I believe they were put together by Dave Suzuki, who is pretty much one of my, I wouldn't say he's like an idol of mine, but he's one of my guitar heroes. Like, I fucking love the shit he puts together. Like, Churchbird is one of my favorite bands, like, of all time. When I went to Armageddon to buy their new album, I literally asked them to hold on to a copy of the vinyl for me, even though they had a bajillion of them because, you know, it's their label. So, I'm of course gonna love the melodies. He does a great job with that, and this is no exception. The guitar tone is really, really good. I think this album is mixed really well. It sounds clean, but it's pretty fucking raw despite it. So it's not like an overly squeaky clean record. It still has that really nice raw edge to it. Okay? And now we kind of get into migrants. Okay, so for starters, we have Glenn Benton on vocals. I don't think I've ever talked about Glenn Benton on my channel, other than when I talked about In the Minds of Evil on that Albums I Regret. So Glenn Benton in his prime, okay, during, I consider the Prime to be the first three, so the self-titled, Legion, and Once Upon a Cross. I think he does a really good job. But after those albums, he gets into this rhythm of, like, only being able to scream, like, 4 words and then having to take a breath and then, you know, it's very, very, very pattern-based. And he never lets up. And this is, like, Deicide way past their prime. Like, I'm pretty sure Once Upon a Cross came out in like the late 90s or the mid 90s or something like that. And this is 2007. Like, this album dropped in 2007. He is not any better. And in fact, throughout the album, he gets fucking worse. Like, there was one song I was very concerned that he was going to pass out from doing vocals. It really sounds like he's really, really straining himself. We'll get into that specific song later because, of course, we are. Another huge problem with this album, right off the bat, without getting into song specifics, these songs are stupid long. Like, there's not a single song under 6 minutes, okay? Excluding the cover, which I'm not even gonna bother. Like, it's a cover, I don't care. But every one of the songs is like over 6 minutes long, and none of them need to be that long, okay? The problem is that they really like to, for some reason, do the same verses and repeat the same choruses twice. I don't know why they do that. I mean, I guess I know why. They're concerned that the songs are going to be too short. But honestly, if these songs are like cut in half and you just did one pass of the verse and one pass of the chorus, or maybe did the chorus twice, or like stuck around, the chorus stuck around a little bit, you'd have better. I think you'd have a better song, because it gets to the point where I'm just hearing the same riff over again with like the same vocals that are just very mad with this. You know what I mean? Like it grates. It gets very grating because like you kind of hit a point where you're just like, fuck, I want this to end. It was okay at the beginning, but now it's like, why? Like there's no reason at all for any of these songs to be 6+ minutes, okay? And it's a shame because there are some good riffs here and there, but they're played so frequently with each song, you know what I mean? Like every song has like that riff. You know what I mean? It's like kind of like Marduk, how they write, where like Marduk has like one riff in like every song that's just like, that's their fucking hook, and it's just, yes. Vital Remains kind of has that, but you don't want to hear the hook that many times. You know what I mean? Like, just progress. Like, just let the song naturally end. You don't have to play the song twice in a row in order to get a good song. Because honestly, it's like, it feels like they were like, we need more, right? Like, it's a quality over quantity thing. They wanted more of the song, but didn't consider how having more of the song would hurt the song, okay? And that's actually, funnily enough, that's actually one of my biggest fears when I write music, because I get really scared that I'm going to write a song that just goes on for too long and nobody's going to want to listen to it. But I overcompensate and write songs that are too short, so the first song that was of note, before I get into that, I actually like the title track of this album a lot. I love this song, actually. Icons of Evil is definitely the best song off this, and it'll never be, like, they just never hit that high again, okay? I didn't write that down because I already knew I wanted to say that. It's a great song. It's got great melody. It's got, actually, surprisingly good, decent vocal performance on Glenn's part. The rhythm is really nice. It's dissonant, It's a good song, good hook. I really like the chorus. Overstays its welcome a little bit, but for that song, I don't mind too much. And then the next song, we have Born to Rape the World. And I'm going to read the notes verbatim. This is kind of a no-no, but I'm going to read it because I feel like I couldn't sum it up any better if I tried off the cuff. Born to Rape the World is so fucking boring. Holy shit, there's literally nothing worth noting. It's just a cacophony of nothingness that punishes you for trying to listen to it. On top of that, the chorus has got to be one of the most clumsily worded clusterfucks of all time. It's too wordy and really diminishes the value of the already mediocre song. That's probably, I don't think I could word it any better than that. It's just a song that doesn't have a purpose. It doesn't feel like it goes anywhere. When when people write music, they typically have like a start, a middle, like an end point. It's kind of like a film or a story or whatever. It feels like there's a point or an arc or something, and this song doesn't have it. It just feels like a mishmash, like blast beats and dissonant riffs, and it just feels empty. It's like white noise. There's nothing at all that I could pick out of the song that makes you go, oh yeah, that. And that's really a shame, okay? Now, it's got to be one of the worst on here, but it's not the worst. It's not the worst song on here. Yeah. That's another thing worth getting into. This album has one drum pattern and like a couple of fills. This album is like Blast Beat City. Okay, I like Sinister, right? Like Sinister is known for being Blast Beat boys, okay? Like they slam that snare. They abuse the fucking snare. Like someone should probably call CPS. But this, it's just, they don't really do anything interesting like Sinister with the blast beats, So you kind of get this like shit, and it's like it's too much. It's too much blast beats, and it's like it just disappears. It disappears into like this white noise of annoyingness, and it's really sad because there's a lot of potential that you could use blast beats for, but a lot of what they use the blast beats for is just like it's just a bunch of samey sounding dissonant riffs every song. And it's a real crying shame because that's what's needed. You know what I mean? Like when you have blast beats, it's important that if you're gonna do blast beats the entire way, you have to find a way to make it inventive. You can't just throw some like really fast tremolo pick dissonant riffs over and over and over again for every song because, well, it becomes white noise. It becomes one just really long, drawn-out, sad song. That's kind of what happens, you know, because of the blast beats and because of the fact that they don't really, I don't want to say they don't know what they're doing, because I know Tony and the guys know what they're doing. But it feels like they don't. They just feel like they're going through the motions and like doing what they feel like needs to be done rather than writing from a creative, imaginative place. Lyrically, it's really bad. So one of the things I like to do when I listen to music, I really enjoy actually reading along with the lyrics. Okay, when I listen to music, I like to read the lyrics while I listen to music. It just helps me. I don't know. It helps me really get into the music. I love it. I couldn't do that with Viper Remains' Icons of Evil. It's because it's not that there are no lyrics available. It's that it's just so clumsily written that honestly reading along with it was like reading the most boring short story ever. It's really bad. There are a lot of lines that really needed to be refined that really come off as fucking terribly clumsy. And it really sucks because I like early Vital Remains, like specifically like Forever Underground. I really, really, really like the lyricism there. It feels much more intelligently written. It feels like when they were writing the lyrics, they thought about exactly how they wanted, they kind of fit the lyrics perfectly to the music, so it didn't feel stunted or clumsy when it came up. It felt very natural and went perfectly with the music. But with Icons of Evil, I feel like they tried to ham-fist like too many words into a small section, and it just comes off as just very disjointed and, like I said, clumsy is probably the best way I can put it. It's very sad. I don't like it. I don't like the lyrics at all, and it doesn't help that they're just very standard. Like I said, it's like poor man's deicide lyrics, What do we got next here? Oh my god. I think this is actually the point where I kind of realized how bad this album was. And that was Reborn the Upheaval of Mility. I wrote, and I quote, "Wow, the start of this song is so bad I actually considered turning it off. Oh god, that beginning part is the fucking chorus. Oh god, no, Glenn Benton sounds like he's starting to fucking croak. Every time that chorus plays, I wish God would take away my ability to hear it. So fucking cringy and bad." The chorus. Oh. How the fuck did no one stop me from doing that? That is gotta be. I hate to say this. I hate to be mean. Because I'm about to say something really mean. I cannot believe anyone let you into the studio and actually record that fucking chorus. How the fuck did anyone let you walk into a studio, right? And when you got to that point, you're like, "Oh yeah, it sounds great, man." I would have laughed you out of my studio. Like that is so fucking pathetic. It was when it came on. I physically winced. Like it's poorly performed. It's shittily worded. It's actually kind of funny how terrible it is. It's actually unbelievable that this is like the same band that I knew, you know, from like Forever Underground and Into the Cold Darkness and Let Us Pray. Like, it doesn't even sound like them. It sounds like a Chinese knockoff of Letter Remains. It's so wow. You know, like I said, I don't like to be mean for these, but shit, boy, what the fuck? Okay, like, no. And honestly, like, this is the point in the album where it just gets worse, and it just goes further downhill. And shit. Yeah, even like here, like I thought this song was never gonna end. Fucking shit. But they repeat that chorus. I don't think I actually wrote down how many times, but I'm pretty sure they repeat the chorus like several times. And every single time it came on, I was like this. Like, I was like physically being tortured every time it came on. It's so fucking bad. And Hammer Down the Nails. The funny thing about Hammer Down the Nails is when I was younger, I used to fucking love that song. That and Icons of Evil were the two songs that I came back to and listened to a bunch. I don't know how I ever liked Hammer Down the Nails. It's really bad. And at this point, I would like to say that, once again, the dissonant riff and the blast beat thing at this point was just killing me. Like, I felt like I was listening to the same song over and over again. And I'm pretty sure this song, though, had a pretty good melody in it. But it was just black. It was the same shit over and over. Like, I really feel like there's a lot of copy and pasting or a lack of listening back to what they wrote. Because I feel like there's so many dissonant riffs that are just repeated. And even when they do octaves, right? So it feels like it's just the same thing being played over and over again. All right? And it's very easy to fall into this trap when you're using the same kind of drum beats and the same kind of, like, basically the same speed. I don't think there's that many tempo changes for the riffs outside the solos and the melodies. It's pretty much just the same BPM over and over again. And when you do that, it really, once again, it really grates. It becomes nothing. It's too samey. Shrapnel Embedded Flesh. We heard this song a billion times on the last, you know, however many tracks. Must have got a game over because I'm back at the beginning of the fucking song. God damn it, you motherfuckers. This song literally on the lyric sheet when I was looking at it literally said repeat the entire thing. So they literally repeat the first riff over again and the first, I believe, chorus over again as well. And it's like, you didn't have to do that. Like, if you didn't do that, it might have been, like, okay. Like, I might have thought it was, like, mediocre. But it's like, I got to the point where I started typing in all fucking caps. And then I'm like, I could feel the anger in the notes. Like, I'm very upset while writing these. Very, very upset while I'm writing these. Till Death is the longest fucking song on the entire album. And boy, does it feel like it. It's boring as fuck. You feel every single second of Till Death. It's really, really, really bad. It's really, really mediocre. The problem is, right, like, I hate using the similar adjectives, right? Like, I keep saying mediocre and generic and whatnot, but I physically could not, if I wanted to, use other adjectives because it's banal. You know what I mean? It's very poor. It's very sad. And I honestly wish that they would change it up a little bit. You know, like, you don't need a 9-minute Vital Remains song. Nobody asks for 9 minutes of Vital Remains basically wanking dissonant chords, trying to get, I don't even know what they're trying to get. It just sounds so bland. It's like I said, it just seems like with this album, they hit a creative brick wall, and they really couldn't do anything too incredible. They couldn't really do anything incredible. They didn't really have any real ideas for it, and it's a real shame. It's a shame that I talked so much shit during this review, because I really used to like this band. I still like their earlier stuff, but this is just wow. It's really bad. In the last song, it's the same. I wrote, it's the same damn song. It's all one long song that never ends. Just fuck this shit. Oh my god. And the melody is cool. Like, these have got to be. I've written for Waking the Cadaver, right? When I reviewed their discog, I was finding that a lot of the shit through the albums that I was saying, right? When I reviewed them in the reviews, there's a lot of overlapping things that I was saying. This is probably the worst offense of, like, there's not really anything new you can say. There's not really any new information I could give you from this album in order to paint a vivid picture, because it's just all great. It's all great. It's all very meh. It's fast-paced, very blech, almost black death grind or something. Like, you might say they're not that genre. I know they're not that genre. What I'm trying to tell you is it's just as boring as that genre. It's blast beat city. It's the same feeling riffs with the same feeling. Even the melodies are very same feeling, even though I like them. It's just too samey. It's just too much of the same. It wears you down. I honestly hope that, if Tony gets over his medical condition, I'm not fully aware of the specifics, but he's going through some medical stuff right now. That I hope, if he can recover, which I'm saying I hope he does. Like, I would be devastated. I would be fucking devastated if Tony passed away. Because, like, I can't deny he is a great rhythm guitarist. He's great. He's awesome. I really like him. I really like him. I was so happy that for my first concert, I got to see Vital Remains, and I got to see him and all of them. It was very awesome, and I'm very happy to have had that experience, and I'm very happy for Vital Remains to have been my first real step into a more extreme death metal. And it wasn't like death, you know what I mean? But I hope that if there is another Vital Remains record, that they kind of take a step back a little bit, and they kind of try to think of a different creative direction. Because this one it's not working, and I really want the old Vital Remains. Like, I want to be excited for Vital Remains again. So that's that. Like, I'm not coming from a place of, like, hatred or anything like that. I want every band that I review to do well, and Vital Remains especially. Like, they fucking deserve it. Like, they're from my area, you know what I mean? Like, they're the biggest band in my fucking area. And it's really, really cool that I get to say that I have a band as cool as that in my area. But, this album, it's not even the worst. I don't think this is the worst album they put out. I don't think it's even fucking close. But I'd have to give this like a 3 or a 3.5 out of 10, because it's like you have pieces and bits of like goodness that if there was like less song, you might be able to appreciate more, and you might really be able to enjoy more. But it's just too much. Their songs are too long. The guitar is too samey. There's way too many blast beats. Like, chill. Just drink, have some like green tea or something. Just relax, and then you can hit the drum kit. Because I feel like that's a big part of it, you know. I really think that they got to rethink how they want to structure albums going forward if they go forward. But yeah, that's this review. What did you guys think of this album? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you hate me for hating this album? Leave your answer in the comment section below. Hit that like or dislike, whatever gay shit these YouTubers say nowadays. Thank you for watching. Mortician, peace out.